Hi, I'm Brenda Palmer Barr with Winkert Real Estate, and I'm here to talk to you today about rentals. So, with the economy in Texas, especially in the Dallas area, it's nuts. It's just like trying to buy a home. It's very, very aggressive. You have to be ready in a moment's notice to go look at a property and make an offer on that property if you are really interested in it. Because sometimes you walk up to these houses to show with your clients and it's like an open house. There is just cars parked everywhere and people going in and out. That's how many people are moving here and want to be in this area. And I mean all the way around the North Dallas, South Dallas, East Dallas, West Dallas, far North Dallas, everywhere. So I just want to give you a couple of tips. Hopefully it won't take too much of your time, but hopefully this will help you when you're in your search. So once you've met a realtor and you've made contact, someone that's licensed, you want to continue forward with them. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you sign that tenant representation that they're going to be sending you. They're going to email you the tenant rep. They're also going to email you the IABS, information about brokerage services. Those things must be signed in order to move forward. And once they move forward, they're going to set you up on a listing of properties that are going to come to your email box. So every single thing that you have, all the criteria that you're interested in, is going to be set up in this MLS listing, and you're going to get an email every time one of those properties pop up in the area of interest for you. Keep in mind that we use MLS, multiple listing services, as agents, so we do pay for that service, and those are the most current and accurate properties. You can find properties on Zillow, no problem, but just know that if it doesn't have an MLS number, it's not by a brokerage, there's no guarantee that they're going to pay the agent's commission, meaning you may have to pay that commission. It could be anywhere from 25% to 50% of the first month's rent, and that will be on that tenant representation agreement that you sign. So you just need to discuss that with the agent if you have any questions. So after that, what's the next steps? You need to make sure that you submit copies of driver's license of everyone over 18 that's going to be living in the property. They need to also sign the tenant representation agreement. The application. So once you sign the tenant representation agreement, you're also going to get the application that you're going to need to fill out for every single person. Exact same. It's very monotonous because it's all the same information, but every single person has to sign it and fill out the application. And they're going to need their W-2, driver's license, 2 bank statements if they don't get, if they are unemployed, or if they're getting Social Security instead of weekly paychecks. So you'll need pay stubs. You have to have some kind of identification providing that you can pay for the rent. So once you've done that, your realtor's got all this stuff ready. She's armed to get your paperwork submitted once you find a property. So once you've decided on a property, my suggestion to you is be ready to look at that property within 24 hours and no greater than that. Honestly, if you can do it the same day, it's a lot better off. Because like I just said, you're going to show up and there's going to be 15 other people piled at that front door trying to get in there to look at that house, even if someone's living in it. And that brings me to my next point. So first of all, be on time. Be on time to these appointments. Your agent has spent a lot of time getting all these properties ready for you, scheduling them, calling agents, making sure these properties are still available, asking questions on your behalf. And then they're sitting at that property waiting to show it. Well, guess what? If you don't get there within 5 or 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes of showing time, it's canceled. A lot of these companies will only let you look at that property for 15 minutes and it's done. And then guess what? You can't see it and you have to reschedule it most of the time for way later that day or the next day. So just please be respectful. So also let your agent know if you are planning on bringing people with you. If you have a party of 5 or 10, just don't do that. You're making it more difficult for you and for the agent. So you're not going to look at that property with your own eyes. You're going to be listening to what your aunt, your uncle, and your great cousin is saying about the property, that they don't like it, or they like this, they don't like that. You're not going to be looking at it in your own personal view. So just keep that in mind when you do bring people with you. 2 or 3 people are certainly okay, but just make sure that you think about it for your own self and not take 100% of their consideration in the property. So also keep in mind, this happened to me the other day. So when you're looking at a property, you think they're going to be all set up like stage, like some of these houses are when you buy them. Well, that's not the case. Right now, these landlords are trying to get these properties leased faster than, people haven't even packed their stuff to move out. So you could be walking into a house that's full of furniture. You could be walking into a house that's half packed up. And the worst part is you could be walking into a house where the tenants are in it and don't want to come out of it, or they don't want to answer the door or let you in, even though your appointment has been approved. And I'll give you an example. I've recently had a showing with my clients, and I didn't even get to the front door, and the guy swung the front door open and started yelling at me how angry he was that his landlord was showing the property when he still lived in it, and he was just furious about it. And it makes you look awkward. Your clients feel horrible. So obviously we passed on seeing that property, but that's the kind of things that are happening. They just are trying to turn these properties over so fast. So be ready. It's not going to look like it's all clean inside necessarily, but hopefully the landlord, and we can verify that they will have the property clean before you move in. And of course you can do a walkthrough before you move in also. I recommend that you do that and take an inventory of any damage so they don't try to charge you for that in the future. So be ready to sign on the dotted line. When you say, oh my God, I love this place, but I need to think about it. Well, if you love it, you better go ahead and put your application in, because when you think about it, the next day, I'm going to call and ask on your behalf, and they're going to say, we've already got 3 applications that we're working. And that's how it is. So if you want something, tell me or tell your agent, and we'll get that application submitted along with those W-2s and your applications that you submitted. So I hope all this information has been helpful for you. My best suggestion is just take the experience as it's the next step in your life. It's something, try to enjoy it, and be open-minded if your agent sends you to properties that are way outside of the area that you wanted to live. Sometimes there's just nothing available, so you kind of have to think outside the box. Be open-minded to that. And best of all, if you could do reviews for your agents at the end, Google or whatever platform that they prefer, that's always very welcome. Whether it's good news or bad news, we all need to rely on those reviews that you give us, and we really appreciate that. I hope this wasn't too long and it's informative for you. If you have any questions, please leave me comments below, or be happy to subscribe. I thank you again, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much.